Oh, hi. So, I swear I have a really good excuse for why I forgot about this topic for the last 6 weeks. Let's just get into it. So, when last we left off, Skyder was out on a covert operation. I completely forget where, but that's okay, we're about to find out. Oh, fuck.
Contact detected.
So, this is a new one on me. I've never had two missions pop up at the exact same time. I have had it where on the Sky Ranger 2 mission, a second mission has popped up. I've never had them pop up literally at the exact same time. So this leaves us in a bit of a sticky situation because missions will expire after a set amount of in-game hours, and I'm not sure how long each lasts, and obviously I don't want to lose Skyder, but I don't want to fuck over Egypt by leaving a fully kitted out landed UFO. Although I think for now I'll go with the extraction mission right now, if only because landed UFOs will not increase panic. It's more a matter of a supply run at this point. So we'll get the 18 kitted out. I'm actually going to bring along our newest member, Ms. Annette Durand, who we got in the last council mission, if you recall. She actually comes as a support in this run. In my previous run, she was an assault, I believe. So we'll kit her out with an Exalt laser assault rifle for the irony alone. And that's everybody else I'll kit it out. Mostly the troopers that you're used to seeing are Colonel levels, Cecilin's in there, Smots, everybody else. And we're going to go grab Skyder back from India. With any luck, Annette will get at least one level out of this, because Exalt is pretty much really easy to farm.
We've detected an Exalt cell operating out of India. Once Strike 1 is on the ground, we'll need to secure the area to allow our operative to acquire the necessary data.
So, TLDR, hack to Exalt comm relay is the end. And excuse the upcoming jump cut, my recording software crapped out a little bit, so there's going to be a little bit of lost footage.
One of our covert operatives was nearly successful in hacking a series of Exalt comm relays when enemy forces moved into the area. If we're going to have any chance of recovering that data, we'll need Strike 1 to provide protection while the operative finishes hacking the remaining arrays. If we lose the operative, we won't be able to recover the intel. We have a new objective.
Okay, so like I mentioned before, the basic idea is we're going to hack two relays. I'm just quickly showing you what I chose to go for Annette skills, Sprinter, and Field Medic, because, again, best two early skills for a newbie support. So it looks like the chosen comm relays are there in that alleyway, and then another one down to our southwest, and Skyder's all the way on the other side. Again, excuse the any jump cuts. Again, my recording software did not like this mission for whatever reason. So my plan right now is I'm going to try and head up the center alleyway with most of the troops. I'm going to try and make contact with Skyder as quickly as I can in that red brick building, and then I'm going to work my way over around to the other comm relay and head back to the Sky Ranger for evac. So if all goes well, I should make contact with Skyder within the next couple turns, which is good because he's a sniper and obviously very squishy. So we'll send our least squishy member out first, and of course he makes contact on the first turn, why wouldn't he? So we've seen the Elite Exalt before. I mean, we have like 20 of their confiscated laser weapons. The good news is these ones decided to all group up, and the even better news is that the game designers did make the comm relays invincible to all damage, so there's no risk of blowing it up like there would be with Meld or an alien power relay or anything like that. For a second I thought that the guy behind the dumpster actually died. That's why I looked back to double check, but it turns out he just sort of glitched out and his model disappeared for a second. Unfortunately, because we can't blow the comm relay, it means that those other guys get full cover, and I can't move Dradlin or Smots around because they already used their move, and of course they're both completely flanked in no cover whatsoever. So I put Hill into run and gun mode. My idea is I'm going to try and get her into some kind of cover and maybe fire a couple shots up the side. She does have the light plasma rifle as opposed to the scatter laser, so her long distance aim is a lot better than it would be normally, as you can see there. So that's the sniper taken care of, which is really good because Exalt snipers are really terrible to deal with, especially when they're the elite variety. The only things that are worse are the Exalt heavies because of their rocket launchers. So at this point my only goal is to try and use my flank soldiers to clear out the mess that's staring down them in the alley. I really don't want this to become a pitched firefight down the center of it. Like, Exalt would definitely lose, but I don't want any more of my soldiers in the hospital when I know for a fact we're going to have to head out to the landed alien UFO in just a second here. In the second mission, I mean, excuse me. So unfortunately for Skyder, the bookstore is empty, so I'm just going to leapfrog him through, send him out into the alleyway there, and then he should be able to make contact, maybe even flank that last Exalt, and hit the comm relay on his next turn, which would give us a turn of respite to move all my soldiers up that center alleyway. Cecilin, unfortunately, completely out of position. Going to try and get him up onto the roof at some point. I really should give him the super jump legs as well. But unfortunately, most of my meld is tied up in Cyanox, so that's not going to happen for now. And of course, I can't stop spending money. And Annette is our last to move. I'm going to try and keep her back, at least for now. I'm going to, as usual, just sort of feed her a couple of kills. And obviously a smoke grenade right now on all 5 of my troopers caught out in the open is a really great idea. Because I don't know what else is in the cross alleyway up there. And if another Exalt unit stumbles across my soldiers right now, I might actually lose somebody if they decide to focus fire. So it looks like this guy will do the only smart thing in his soon-to-be very short life and pull back, of course, right into where Skyder's hiding. And nobody else pops out, so I can fortunately engage anybody that might be in that cross alleyway on my own terms. Of course, I still got to take this guy out with Skyder. That does mean he won't get to the comm relay for another turn, but quite happy to take this guy out. Perfect. So I'm not sure how many pods are on this map to start with. I do know that they're going to keep spawning in as usual, and with the hacking missions, they're going to keep spawning in until I get both of the relays hacked and the operative extracted. So right now it's just a matter of taking it slow and careful.
Moving.
So it looks like there's not anybody too near this comm relay, so if I just set up a fire base near it, I should be able to sprint Skyder across the alleyway, and if anybody's in it and starts moving around, then Overwatch should be able to take them out. And I'll start moving Cecilin up towards a drain pipe to try and get him on the roof, and maybe he can just pick off anything that's straight below him.
Yes, Commander.
And everybody else will just move up. While I do really enjoy Exalt missions, now that I have plasma weapons and Titan armor, there's really nothing much more Exalt can do to me besides be a pretty bad nuisance. Case in point. Now, even though I just dissed them horribly, they're actually in a really, really great position for themselves because all of my frontline troops don't have any move left, even though a couple of them are on Overwatch, but I don't think Exalt's going to sprint towards me for obvious reasons. I mean, they're not stupid. So I'm going to have to get creative. I was trying to hook an alien grenade through that burning corner. Unfortunately, it's only burning, not destroyed, so we'll keep everybody back. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to weather a turn of their fire before Skyder gets out there. And of course, the sniper takes the smart move, gets up onto the roof himself before Cecilin's up there. And because of the height advantage, he easily manages to get a shot off on Cyanox, because yeah, all Exalt snipers have snapshots, to the best of my knowledge. Now, I almost have a heart attack because I thought he was throwing an alien grenade. Turns out he just decided to throw a smoke bomb up to this sniper for whatever reason. I'm really not sure why he didn't smoke himself and his buddy, or at least move and then do that. But, you know, AI, whatever. So, Hill does have lightning reflexes, and I'm pretty sure that Heavy back there is on Overwatch. And I really don't want to move Skyder out until I know for a fact that Overwatch has been triggered. At least not moving out into the open. And I know I can't get to the comm relay in one move to deactivate and then take these guys out without worrying. So it's a matter of how risky do I feel like being, and I do a little bit of a stupid here, and I just sprint Cyanox out to punish this guy. Of course, the Heavy is on Overwatch. Plinks off another 5 HP. And then actually the Exalt Heavies have the ability where if they hit on the first Overwatch shot, they get a second one, and he hits him again for 7. So that's almost chewed through all of his armor down to his like 6, organic HP. The good news is that support will live to see another day. And that Cyanox is why I gave you the kinetic strike module and not the flamethrower. Flamethrowers don't do that. Oh, that shit never gets old. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's safe to send a support guy out there to heal him up. I'd really like to take out the heavy at the very least, because I don't think the sniper can kill Cyanox in one hit. So, fortunately, thanks to the flank and rapid fire, Hill does manage to take the heavy guy out, so I could heal Cyanox if I felt like it. Now, I know the sniper's not in Overwatch, because he used his second action point to take a pot shot at the mech, so I can move Skyder out without any fear of triggering Overwatch. Although I would still like to take him out on this turn, so I don't have to worry too much about the next turn. And of course, because he's in cover, he's way up high, and he's smoked, there's pretty much a 0% chance that anybody's going to be able to hit this guy.
On the move.
So for now, we'll just move Drad up, and use him to heal Cyanox. Only 6 HP, because Drad doesn't have the bonus 4 HP quite yet, but he will get that soon enough. I believe it's on his next level up, he'll get that. And for Skyder, we'll just get him into cover behind the comm relay and hit it on our next turn. Now, normally I'd save these until more Exalt were around. Yeah, whatever, Bradford. But considering it's basically the objective of the mission, I just hit these as quickly as I can and just play it a little more defensively against Exalt. Because if I trigger it and there's no Exalt units around to get hit by it, then it doesn't really matter. Now, the good news is, smoke grenades don't affect the accuracy of rockets. And with any luck, this should take out his cover as well. And thankfully it does, so he's no longer in half cover, so everybody gets plus 20% to hit him. And a much better chance to actually crit him. Although, again, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to kill this guy. Like, Annette has a terrible chance to hit. And I didn't really think this would work. But believe it or not, if she bounces it just right, it'll actually get him. And that's why XCOM 1 grenades are so much better than XCOM 2. Overpowered, yes, but absolutely silly levels of fun. So we finally get Cecilin up onto the high ground, naturally, after all the enemies are dead. The good news is he'll be able to take care of anything that stops their advance up this second alley towards the second comm relay, and then again, he can cover them up on top as they pull back around. And of course, Exalt is going to spawn in on the exact opposite end of the alley that I wanted them to, so they're going to have great cover against me as I start moving down the alley towards the other comm relay. The good news is we can hack this relay and prevent any sort of attacks from them from one turn. Or at least any attacks from their main weapons, excuse me.
That ought to slow them down. Now we just need to find and hack the remaining relays.
So, now that they can't really do much, I can pretty much pick them off at my leisure. So this would be a great chance to feed Annette a couple more kills. The only problem is, again, they're pretty far back there, and if the AI doesn't, you know, act stupid again, then they're just going to keep back their reload and then make my life miserable. And the good news is Smots gets a really well-timed critical and takes that guy out in one shot, so all that's left is that jackass back there. Now, Annette can't really do much against this guy. Fortunately, I do have a run and gun cooldown on Hill, so she should be able to just run up to the guy, rapid fire in his face, and end it right now. Like, I would like to get Annette some kills, but at this point it's more a matter of just keeping everybody alive, especially now that Skyder's out in the open and squishy as he is. That's why I'm really hoping he's going to end up Psychic, because he'll have a little bit more defensive abilities and offensive abilities if he could send out more covert ops. But again, that's not really my call to make, unfortunately. So first wave of reinforcements are taken care of, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one more pod around here. I do send Drad forward to scout as he hasn't been hit yet. Fortunately, he doesn't trigger anything, so it looks like if there are any more pods, they're not quite over by that comm relay. So I'm feeling pretty safe in just moving everybody up. And again, even if I trigger anything, since the relay was hit, it's not going to be an issue. So as long as I keep people in Overwatch, and especially with Cecilin providing Overwatch from up top, there shouldn't be too many problems getting everybody out of here at the end of the day. And in fact, nothing really happened for an entire turn. All I did was move people. There was nothing else left, so I just moved Skyder forward and hacked the comm relay.
That's the last of the relays, Commander. We've got Exalt's data. Now we just need to get the operative to the evac zone. Objectives...
Like, I know I said I thought for sure there was another pod around there, and I believe there was, but I guess either it's so far out that it's just not going to trigger, or it despawned, or I'm not really sure. Usually there's a lot more Exalt than this. So I'm pretty much just keeping people in Overwatch and gonna get Skyder towards Sky Ranger as quickly as I can and just end this mission. Because if there's nobody else left, once the operative gets the evac zone, that's it. Mission 1. Unfortunately, it's at the exact opposite end of the building that I want it to be, so it'll take Skyder at least 2 to 3 more turns to get over there. And the problem is, if more spawn in between now and then what's going to happen is that I'm going to have to kill all of them, or just evac everybody to win the mission. Now the good news is, they do seem to spawn over by the evac zone, so it is where I'm going anyway. And this guy is going to insist on being up here. Cecilin will easily take him out. I'm not really sure who's shooting at what. Okay, Dread is obviously shooting at that guy. Cecilin managed to take out his new neighbor, no problem. Unfortunately, I really wasn't happy by those 2 guys spawning in by the delivery van, because I'm going to need to take them out before they shoot me right in the back. So this might delay Skyder's evac by at least a turn. Fortunately, like I said, Cecilin took out that trooper on the roof. The guy over by the evac zone I'm not even worried about. He won't be able to fire his rocket because he'll have to move to get into range. So if he managed to plink off like 5 HP or so on anybody, it's not going to kill them. Like, not even Skyder, unless he manages to get the super lucky crit on. Skyder does have an excellent chance to hit either of those guys, so if I can soften them up, I can just speed in the kill and have done with it. It is a little bit risky, as they do have all my troopers flanked. But what's really great is that Smoktree's rocket is just in range, and if any luck, it'll blow up the delivery van as well. And it fries that heavy pretty well, leaving Drad free to pick up the slack. Alright, and Skyder doesn't even need to use his shot, so that leaves him free to move up even closer to the evac zone, which is what I certainly planned all along and didn't wing whatsoever. Now, I really should have moved him forward that extra couple of spaces, because I think that would have let him reach the evac zone in 1 move, but I'm pretty sure that's going to take at least 2 moves now. So, a bit of a mistake on me, you know, a month and a half ago. At least. So all's quiet for now, although I know there's still a heavy over there, so I gotta take this carefully. Now, my plan with this move is I wanted to try and basically cut kitty corner across the rooftop there, and then basically jump down on the guy and squish him. And no, you can't actually do that. It was more of a metaphorical squishing. Now, I obviously didn't expect him to get eyes on, and I thought he would get eyes on if he's up here, because I was sure he's over by that red car, but no such luck. So we'll just keep eyes on the main road here while we work everybody down the side street here.
I'm on the move.
Now, I know that they're not going to spawn in twice in a row, so it should just be that heavy over by the evac zone that's left. Now, and I want to be careful running anybody else, because Lord knows where he is or what he's planning. Like, he's probably in Overwatch. They usually are when you can't see them sprint out towards you. So that's why I send out Hill first with the lightning reflexes. So hopefully if he is on Overwatch, she will trigger it. Fortunately, no. She doesn't even get eyes on him. So my next option for who to send out is Synox, because he has the HP and the defense to easily weather any number of Overwatch shots, as we saw earlier. He does get eyes on. Fortunately, he wasn't in Overwatch, so he must have used both of his moves for whatever reason. Unfortunately, he only got a sight of him for a second, and Skyder is literally 1 fucking movement point away from getting That's why I should have kept him over by the planter instead of behind the wall there.
Heading there now.
So I'm just going to have to move him up a few spaces to the trash can and end my turn there for him. Now what I'm hoping is that enough people in Overwatch out here will either keep the guy in his place, or if he runs out, to basically kill him in one quick volley, run Skyder out, and that'll end it all. I'm also going to scare him a little bit by throwing a grenade at him, because if it damages him, then he'll definitely be a lot less eager to fuck up any of my soldiers' day. And again, the 4 HP is because of that stupid Iron Skin ability that all the Exalts have nowadays. So Smuts, we can just move up near Skyder. Don't want to keep Durand by the car, but I don't have much of a choice. If the guy flings a rocket, it won't kill her, but it will definitely send her to the hospital for at least a week or so. And Rad can't really get to anywhere too advantageous, so we'll keep him back a little bit in case he needs to do any pop out and heals, and just leave Cecilin up there in case that guy sprints out. Again, my hope is he runs out, he dies, I run Skyder up, mission over before any more reinforcements come in. Now, no reinforcements, that's a good start.
I don't think we're alone out here.
He does go for the move, and he is going to go for the shot. Fortunately, he does miss, and with nobody around to pick up his slack, that hull targeting doesn't really matter. Oh, fuck.
Dead and gone.
Good riddance.
You know, I really didn't think there would be reinforcements because Bradford didn't say anything, but apparently there was anyway, so you don't fuck me, right? But fuck that guy in particular. That's one of the best parts about getting your snipers up top, because when enemies basically drop in, they tend to drop in on top of buildings, so more often than not they drop right next to your snipers and die instantly.
Commander, the operative has safely reached the extraction point with the recovered data. We can either stick around and eliminate any remaining hostiles, or move to the evac point and return to HQ. Objective update.
So yeah, I don't think any more will spawn in now, but either we evac everybody or we kill everybody. And you can probably tell which option I chose.
Commander, we've secured the operative and the new data they were able to acquire from the relays. Well done.
I'm certainly impressed with the results.
All in all,
especially
technically
considering the
successful, but I was
conditions
really
down
hoping for a level up. Well, I got one, but mostly, especially on Durand, and now I guess Skyder will be happy to hear that the Exalt base is not in his home turf of the UK. Now, I was considering giving him in the zone, but double tap is just so much more generally useful that I just had to give it to him. A lot more weapons.
Although my initial observations of the abductee Annette revealed little to explain the alien's ongoing interest in her, after conducting structural imaging scans of her brain, there was some evidence of focused trauma. At this point, it is clear she harbors a latent
Valen's
psionic
currently
ability,
talking, about to stop
something
talking.
different than we've encountered in the field. My hope
23,
is
46,
that she'll
47,
slowly piece
48.
together what's happened.
So just a little bit of exposition on Annette there, and like I said, double tap really useful, that's why Skyder's got it. And because Skyder, you've done such an awesome job as a covert operative, I want to make you even more awesome. So congratulations, you're going to be awesome and invisible. Now unfortunately this is the most expensive meld upgrade in the game at 65, at least to the best of my knowledge. I'd also like to get him one of the brain upgrades, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Like, I can in terms of meld, but it'll take an extra 3 days per upgrade, so just a medic skin for now.
I'll have the selected volunteer sent to surgical prep immediately. Once the genetic modification is complete, I will notify you directly.